What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, 8th already. We're going to talk about the Cowboys. We are going to talk about the Buccaneers. We're actually going to talk a little bit about the NBA. We're going to look forward into the Super Bowl as the season kicks off tomorrow night. And some things going on in Green Bay, some things going on with Deshaun Watson, and so much more. You're watching The Wire, and it starts right now. Fellas, what's going on? We are Cozy 3 in here today. How's everybody's week going?
Good.
Starting off real good with that paper. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day.
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, the NFL season kicks off, so that's exciting. We're really mostly NFL today. I'm going to try to change it up at least once per show, but with all this football going on, we got to talk NFL. So, it starts tomorrow, and the first game is going to be the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to be facing off against America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And guys, I've got a few different points on this. First off, I saw Bruce Arians speaking to reporters this week, and he doesn't plan to underestimate Dallas, is kind of the general gist of what he was saying. You got Dak Prescott. He's going to be back after 340 days off the field. We have a currently healthy, knock on wood, Ezekiel Elliott, a semi-healthy defense. It's safe to say that at the very least, Dallas is not the same team that we were watching last year. However, I do need to mention on the day that we recorded in this past Monday, for those of you listening and watching, Zach Martin, the right guard, is now on the COVID list. Now, he is vaccinated, and the way that's going to work is if you're vaccinated and put on the COVID list, you're out for 5 days, which is going to get him out of the opener tomorrow. My first question, and we'll start off with Trey. Trey, Bruce Arians, do you think he was in the right state of mind preparing for Cowboys as if they're going to be a tough matchup? Or is this a situation similar to what we see in the preseason where maybe he could have, kept the guys fresh, kept everybody healthy, looking into tougher opponents?
I don't think you can underestimate anybody this early into the season. The Cowboys it sounds like they're revitalizing themselves as far as like getting everybody back healthy. They got Dak back. Zeke's going to be healthy. The defense looks really good. They have Michael Parsons. So I don't think I think he's trying to take it step by step, game by game. Keep using that shovel, digging that hole, and try to put everybody in the right mindset. You want to start the season off with impactful wins. So I don't think he's underestimating at all.
Sahe, Bruce Arians is your man. Now, do you back him on this decision to be fully ready? Do you play the Cowboys as if they're the Chiefs, or would you rather see the Bucs kind of take it easy and just kind of get the win however they need to?
So here's the thing about being the champs. When you're on top, I know you might have forgot this, Justin. It's been a long time since the Steelers won the Super Bowl, and the Falcons been there. But you know what I'm saying. But we ain't gonna go there. But when you the champs, everybody's gunning for you like you know what I'm saying, like you the best team in the league. Every team every week is gonna give you their best game. So no matter what happens during their season, they can say, hey, at least we beat the champs. So you got to be prepared for that. And I know that Coach Bruce Arians knows that as well. And he's got to keep these guys fired up. And you know what I'm saying? It's the right decision to, have that attitude, because that's what's going to win the game.
Now, switching over to the Cowboys side of the ball, what is your outlook in general on the Cowboys this year? Having Dak back, for now anyway, when you're off that long, I know everyone's going to be worried about how long do we get him? Is he back with longevity, or is he going to be dry enough that he gets hurt right again? How do you feel about Zeke, the defense? And with Zach Martin out this week, what does that mean for those guys? Sahe?
For the Cowboys, they've got the benefit of being in the NFC East. If I was them, after Zach Martin went down, you're playing the Buccaneers, a super stacked team. Let's not even play Dak Prescott this week. You know what I'm saying? Let's sit him down, make sure he's ready for, these divisional games. Because that's what really counts. This game is not going to matter for their playoff hopes of them winning that division. So, they got a great offense when Zeke is on the field. They've got a great offense when Dak Prescott's on the field. They've got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper. I'm missing somebody, but they got great receivers. Gallup, I think that's who I'm thinking of. So they've got a top offensive line, but they've got guys out. They've got a tremendous team. Now their defense sucked last year. They had one of the worst defenses I've ever seen in my life. But I feel like they made steps to improve. So I feel good about the Cowboys this year and their chances to make the playoffs, just simply because of the division that they're in. Nobody's running away with that division. So that's what I think the Cowboys should focus on and not this game.
Good old NFC least. Trey, do you have a different view on the Cowboys and how they might be missing Zach Martin this week? And also, let's answer that first. Go for it.
Well, Zach Martin's a Hall of Famer. So of course they're going to be missing him. Zeke loves his offensive line. He wants to run behind them, and he's one of the leading members of the offensive line. So I would be crazy to think that they could lose Zach Martin and be the same exact offensive line.
The other question that was just on the tip of my tongue there is, when you're a team like the Cowboys that had the season they had this past year, being without their franchise quarterback for 340 days, does getting the Super Bowl champs week 1 and then Kansas City, I believe, is week 11 for them, is that kind of like mile markers for them? We can see how we are against the best this week, and then check in again on week 11, or is, how do you view that from the coaching standpoint? Trey?
From a coaching standpoint, I guess it's always nice to see exactly where your team is at. So I think that those would be good benchmark games to see exactly where you got to stack up, how much fight you actually have, and where you are against some of the best in the league. So as a coach, I would relish in the opportunity. And as a player, I think I'd be relishing the opportunity to see where I stack up, where my guys stack up, my brothers stack up against the best of the best. Because obviously you have to have extreme confidence to play the sport of football, or you really are not going to make it to the level that they're at. So they all think that they're the best. Now it's a good opportunity for them to stand up and prove how good they are.
Sahe, anything to add, or you still think they should sit Dak out and take it easy this week?
I you know what I'm saying? That's just really a joke. But because they're not going to do that, paying him all that money to play. So he's going to play no matter what. Like Trey was saying, these athletes are super competitive. They're going to want to give it their all every time they're out there. So that's exactly what they're going to do. But we'll see. I have high hopes for the Cowboys this year, even though they're not winning week 1. Bet on
I see you got the Cowgirls behind you there.
Yeah. This is their only hope. Yeah, this is the Cowboys' only
distractions.
Hope. Try to distract us. You know what I'm saying?
Gee whiz. All right, well, let's actually move over to the NBA real quick before we go to the break. Some things have started to stir up in the offseason while we've been over here focusing on football. The Lakers, they've been changing up the roster quite a bit. Several new additions, such as, I'm going to mess it up, but Rondo. I'm not even going to say his first name. I can't mess up Rondo. They got Russell Westbrook, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony, and more. That's not all of it. So first and foremost, and I think we are at Sahe going backwards. What do you guys make of the changes being made in LA? Are we seeing the formation of another super team, or are we seeing kind of what we talked about when the cap was up in New York and they were bringing in like the Blake Griffins and are we seeing a bunch of too dated players coming into the roster? What do you think?
No, I don't. I mean, they've got a lot of those, but with LeBron James, the way he takes care of himself, he's still in his prime, believe it or not. Russell Westbrook is a couple years removed from, you know what I'm saying? Did he average a double-double last year or triple-double? Yeah, so he's averaging triple-doubles even last year. And then you've got AD. Come on now. Come on. This team is looking amazing. It's looking great. Just the veteran experience is what's going to hold them over, and it's going to show once playoff time comes, because that's what they're signing these guys for. They're going to make the playoffs. It might not look pretty as it hasn't the last few years, but they're going to get there and they're going to do it healthy this year.
This looks more like an Olympic team than our Olympic team. Anyway,
right.
Trey, what do you make of all the changes going on in LA? Is it, is it too late for some of these guys? Or
Listen. We are better than what we were last year. I said we. We are better than what we were last year. That's all I'm saying. And by far, we needed scoring. We got scoring. We needed defense. We picked up defense. We needed rim protection. We picked up rim protection. We hit all three benchmarks. Now, I don't even know what prime means. I feel like prime is the combination of basketball experience with athleticism to be able to put you over and above your opponent. And I feel like they have Russell Westbrook, who is a dog. LeBron James is the man. AD, you can't stop. Carmelo's still a bucket. And the list goes on. Rondo, we don't even need Rondo until the playoffs. And he's not even our backup. He's our third stringer, because we have Kendrick Nunn, who's the rookie, who's still coming up. I mean, Malik Monk. I mean, and the list goes on. We added depth to our roster, no matter the age. I mean, no one talks about how old the Nets have gotten, or how hurt they've been, but all of a sudden, we pick up a couple players at 30, 35, 36, and all of a sudden we need AARP. I mean, it's crazy. These are all legit Hall of Fame players we have on our roster, scoring champs we have on our roster, and people are acting like we don't know what we're doing.
King James Senior Center out there in Los Angeles.
It's not even like that.
So to go along with what you guys were saying, analysts that I was paying attention to this week on the air were discussing what an NBA team really traditionally has needed in order to have a good run at the championship, and that's three solid players in their prime in various positions. And prime, it could be relative. I think it's safe to say, like, Anthony Davis, definitely in his prime. Some would say, I'm not saying, but I'll leave it up to you guys to debate. LeBron James might be kind of coming to the back end of his prime. Not making him any less of a Hall of Fame player, but you know what I mean? So do you guys think that with, some of this veteran, talent coming in, are we building a team for longevity? Are we building a team for a championship this year? Do you think there's that three solid guys that can carry it on all the way, or what do you think, Trey?
We're definitely building for a championship this year. We're not building for longevity. We are older. I'm not expecting for Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook to be on our team for the next 3 to 4 years. You know what I mean? Rondo either. So we're definitely building for right now. I don't know what prime means, or the three. I guess you need three. I guess what they're trying to say is you need three guys that you could count on. I don't necessarily know if that means that they're in their prime, but they definitely have basketball IQ and they definitely can play the game. And I just leave it at that. I don't really know much more to say about that because I don't really know what being in your prime actually means.
So this particular analyst that I was listening to that made the reference to LeBron also being kind of past it was referring to Miami when he was down there with the big three in Miami. That would have been LeBron James prime. They're all young, they're all fiery, they're on fire, and they're playing together, carrying the team.
I would say to make it to the finals, it has to be a combination of players, luck, and health. And honestly, if they can gel together, the team needs to gel. This is the first year playing. They've added a lot of new pieces. We need to see how they work together. They know each other, but do they really know how to play with each other? And what lineups is coach going to put together to make sure we have the best lineups out there for the specific times that we need? Because I'm pretty sure you can't really put Rondo, LeBron James, Westbrook, Carmelo, Anthony, and AD all on the floor at the same time and expect it to just work. You know what I mean? We need to figure out what lineups actually work for us. And that's going to take time. Hopefully we can we're doing it right now. Well, LeBron's on vacation, but hopefully we can get it done throughout the year. And by Christmas, we're running on all cylinders.
Sahe, is this the new Monstars? And do you think what do you make of that dynamic of needing three guys in their prime to really lead a team to the finals?
Is it the new Monstars? For sure. They got all these big names out there, so it's great to hear. It's going to be exciting to once the season is getting closer to kicked off. You know, you're going to want to see those games and see how these players play. And about the big three, they've got it. AD, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook. That's your big three right there. It might look a little, you know what I'm saying, a little awkward. It might not be ideal, but those are three huge pillars in basketball right now. You've got a guy, Russell Westbrook, that he can just get it. He can get it no matter what. He can do everything. I mean, he's been doing it year after year. So when LeBron isn't going to be out on the floor playing a lot like we've been talking about, he's up there in age. He's going to be sitting down a lot. And I think that's why they need Russell Westbrook to carry them through the season, like the regular season. He's a nightmare regular season, night to night, where guys are slacking off. Russell Westbrook isn't slacking off one bit. He's going hard every single play. So they're going to need that during the regular season. And once the playoff comes, it's going to help them stay healthy, be healthy, and have AD and LeBron, because that's really all they need. So they're signing all these other guys just to, you know what I'm saying, carry them along until the playoff comes where AD and LeBron could take over.
Sahe, I'm surprised with your sports conspiracies. We haven't heard anything about, okay, first New York's bringing all these Monstars and putting them all on one team. Now we got all these Monstars in LA on one team. They're trying to, I don't know. I don't even know what you would cook up. Folks, you're watching The Wire. Make sure while you're checking us out during the commercial break, if you're watching us on Facebook, hit that follow and like button. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And below us in the comments, you can see the Patreon link where you can go and support. That's how you can become an exclusive member and get behind the scenes footage, first dibs on episodes, all that fun stuff. If you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or any of the audio channels, we love you for doing that. Please leave a review, and each podcast has a different way of doing that, so you just find it on the website. You're watching The Wire. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to jump back into the NFL. I thought you would have a conspiracy theory on the Monstar teams. You spend too much time on
I love you do.
I mean, it definitely is a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? The Monstars, just for the simple fact of the big names. That's what the Brooklyn Nets were doing last year.
That's what they're doing this year. They picked up LaMarcus Aldridge and my guy from Denver, along with getting Patty Mills.
Welcome back to The Wire. It is football week mostly. We talked a little bit about LA when it comes to basketball, just because they forced their way back into the conversation, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so we're moving back into the NFL, guys. The season starts off tomorrow, so I thought of a fun little game. You know, I know it's hard to predict the Super Bowl now, and I'm not asking you to, but I would like you to build out for me a 3-tier Super Bowl pyramid, or you know, for easier lack of understanding, like a 1 through 6 most likely teams to make it into the Super Bowl, and to go all the way. So if you're doing the pyramid, you're reading it left to right, vice versa, or you can just tell us top six. I don't care if you start with first. I don't care if you start with 6. Whatever you want to do. Trey, get it kicked off with you, man.
Oh man, this is gonna be this is live off the melon right now. Hold on, I'm gonna start number one. I'm gonna start off with Kansas City. I think Kansas City is gonna be my number one. I think they got a lot to prove. They did not like how last year went. Number 2, Tampa Bay, returning Super Bowl champs. I think Tom Brady, there'll be no Tom Brady slander coming out of my mouth. You guys know that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And they brought back all 22 of their starters. Number 3, I would say, is the Baltimore Ravens. I know they lost DK Metcalf, but I just believe in Lamar Jackson. Number 4 for me is going to be Tennessee Titans. I like what Vrabel's doing. I think they, with the addition of Julio Jones, that's my guy. And then Patrick Henry and their defense is going to be solid. Number 5, I'm going to go with the 49ers. Pending Garoppolo can stay healthy. If Garoppolo can stay healthy, I'm going to go with the 49ers. Their defense is old, but they're veterans who are savvy. 6 is going to be Buffalo. I just like Buffalo. I have no reason to pick them. I just really like Buffalo. I like what they're doing. The way that they're winning is super consistent, and it's a recipe for W's. And 6, I have...
That was 6.
I don't, huh?
That was 6. You got there.
That was 6?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought that was 5.
Did you skip one? Oh, you said 6.
No, I thought he was on 5.
Okay, go for it.
5.
Go for it.
And 6, I'm gonna pick. I want it to be another NFC team, but I'm gonna go with the Browns, and just because they have all the tools. Like, there's no reason why they should not be in the Super Bowl. They have the defense. They're too deep at every position. Like a legit too deep at every position. So there's like no reason for them not to make it. So that's my top 2.
Perfect. Awesome. Yeah, I lost count somewhere in there. Good points. Sahe. We know I can't count. People watch and listen to The Wire. I can't count. Sahe, give us your top 5, 6, whatever you want to know. Just your Super Bowl pyramid, man. Top 6.
I mean, it's really only one tier kind of deal. And I'll get to that in a second, because first and foremost, I got to say that Trey said he wasn't going to slander Tom Brady's name, and then proceeded to slander his name by putting his team at number 2 when they should be at number 1. First and foremost. You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady somehow is going to hear this. He's going to be like, what? Trey put me at number 2? Didn't you just see what I did last year? Come on, we got everybody back. But I got the Buccaneers at 1. I got Kansas City at 2, because obviously they're the most dominant team in the AFC. 3, I got Aaron Rodgers. 4, I got the Cleveland Browns, because like Trey was saying, they've got everything. They got
Did you
everything.
say 3? You just got Aaron Rodgers. You didn't say Green Bay Packers. You just got Aaron Rodgers.
Right? Yeah, I just got Aaron Rodgers.
He's got a picture of Tom Brady up top, the Kansas City
Tom
logo,
Brady,
picture of Aaron Rodgers, that dog pound thing.
Because everywhere Aaron Rodgers goes, they're going to be a top title contender. It gets tougher after where I'm at 4. It gets tougher after that for me. So I just got 2 wild cards here. Let me go with the Cowgirls. They're in the weakest division. They've got their guy coming back. If somehow they can stumble out of the NFC East, NFC least, they might have a chance to, you know what I'm saying, get on the road where somebody happens to knock us out of the playoffs. Maybe the Packers, the Cowboys then beat the Packers, and then they wind themselves up in the Super Bowl. So that could happen. That's a possibility,
you guys
right?
are welcome to come stay at my place if that starts to transpire down here in Dallas.
Right. That would be nuts. And then 6, I'm just going to go with the Bills. They had a chance to do it last year. Their team was just young, and they're still growing. Josh Allen is a guy that could progress after having 2 strong seasons. So we'll see. That could be a outside 6 there for Buffalo Bills, the old Bills Mafia.
I don't blame
and
you.
I would be remiss if I didn't just throw the Rams in there, because my guy Matt Stafford is coming to show people what's what.
Yeah, that is true.
All depends on Stafford. We know Marvin's watching at home and throwing something at the phone or the tablet, whatever he's watching.
That's why I had to put that in there for tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wanted to say either the Rams or the Seahawks, but I just felt like I had to throw another AFC team in there.
I would have said the Seahawks. I would have said the Seahawks, but they had so much turmoil going on with just their defense versus offense and how they're doing their contract. I just don't think that it's a great recipe for cohesion within their own organization.
I think Richie's also at home. Like, how did the Cowboys make somebody's top 6, but the Rams didn't make either one? Let's move on. Speaking of Green Bay, there is some news going on. Surprise, surprise, it's not necessarily directly about Aaron Rodgers. They announced this week that they're going to be prioritizing their cornerback, Jair Alexander, I hope I got that right, for a contract extension over their star receiver, Devontae Adams. So first question, and I think we're going backwards from Sahe, right? Sahe, if you're Devontae Adams, 4-time Pro Bowler, 62 career touchdowns, you were drafted 2nd round back in 2014, veteran at this point. Would this move by the office and the drama surrounding the franchise quarterback position be enough to make you kind of start looking around for a different place to retire, like a different place to give it your last go?
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially after you've been one of their better options on the offense, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to get you later. We got to get this other guy over here. That would be enough to be like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and head on out. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like you guys don't really want me here anyway. Y'all want to get rid of Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, that would be that right there. That little slight would be enough for me to want to get out of there. I mean, but Jair Alexander does deserve you know what I'm saying, whatever he wants as far as free agency, because he's that good of a cornerback. He what makes their secondary go. So it's kind of a hard choice. I mean, as a Packers organization, I would prioritize Jair Alexander over Devontae Adams, just because of what I've seen out of Devontae Adams in the not so distant past, where he was wanting to hold off contract talks because of the situation with Aaron Rodgers. He comes off as a little bit of a loose cannon. So Devontae's obviously going to feel a certain way, but I feel the Packers organization is just doing what they feel is best for them, you know?
Straight. Do you think that makes him a loose cannon or just loyalty to the quarterback? That's just a sidebar question. And then also the same question. If you are the 4-time Pro Bowler Devontae Adams, does this start to just push you away from the organization and looking somewhere else to retire?
I don't think it makes him a loose cannon. I think they're trying to wait and see what plays out, because we don't know what's going to go on with Aaron Rodgers. They gave him a 1-year contract, and then he gets to make a decision whether he's going to stay or leave after that. That holds up a lot of cap space. I think they want to sign. I think it's a breath of fresh air that they want to sign someone on their defense and focus on their defense. Because for years we've always talked about the Packers and how they're loading on offense because the defense is always suspect, all that bend but don't break. Once they focus on defense, they're actually a better spot. They could put thumbtacks and bubblegum out there with Aaron Rodgers and still have a top 10 offense. Like, it's honestly, I mean, they have the running game, they have the lines, they can manufacture a receiver. That's if Devontae Adams wants to leave. I don't think he wants to leave. I honestly think that it's just a waiting game to see how contracts play out, so we can see where cap space falls and then what moves that they can make in the next offseason. I'm not really too sure what his contract looks like or when it's up, but I think that he's good for another year and a half, 2 years. If he is good for another 2 years, then they probably just want to see what happens at the end of this year and then see where they're at in cap space. So it's really a smart move for them because they need to lock in the defense.
Now, the key word there that I'll bring up as I go into this next question, and you said it, they need to focus on defense as long as they've got an Aaron Rodgers that makes it so that they can have thumbtacks and bubble gum out there. Because without Aaron Rodgers, you're throwing it all in on what was his name? Is it Jordan Love that they picked up last year? And so,
yeah,
Jordan Love, and he looks decent.
He does, yeah. And going into the preseason, it was a complete mystery, right? We had no idea. My second question is, do you think this is a little too bold of a move given the recent history with Aaron Rodgers being so flaky? I mean, is this basically throwing your chips into we're only going to have him for one more year anyway? I'm sorry. They've been through this already, though. They can't be held hostage by a quarterback. They went through this with Brett Favre. They learned their lesson through that. They're going to make the moves that they're going to make for their team, which I applaud them for doing. No one's wrong in the situation. Aaron Rodgers wants one thing. The team wants to go in another way. And both of them have valid points for the reasons why they feel that way. But ultimately, they need to do what's best for the team or what's best for themselves in those situations. I think locking up the defense is what's best for the team. And Aaron Rodgers he can go pout about it, which is what he's been doing. Sahe, does the Wisconsin soap opera continue? Do you think this is a bold enough a move to set Aaron Rodgers back into dismay?
No, this isn't a bold enough move to send him back into. They're good. They're just. I think they're just saying this just to hype up something more, get the Packers back in the news. Kind of a Jerry Jones-esque move. Well, he'll say something and just to get the media and everybody talking about his team, because that's going to what ultimately fill seats and, cause drama. And that's what's going to be a moneymaker for him. So I really feel like that's what it is. I think they're not prioritizing anybody over anybody. They're just starting drama. Like, why say that? You know what I'm saying?
So this is already part of that Wisconsin soap opera is what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a side story.
Well, some hot off the wire news that we haven't got to do in a while. Not as hot for you people checking it out on Wednesday, but come out today on Monday while we're recording. Houston has announced that they are going to run with Tyrod Taylor as their starter this season. Deshaun Watson has been approved to be available at NFL events. This includes practices, this includes games, but has not apparently been approved in the same manner by the Texans organization. So David Culley indicated to press this week that it is unlikely that we'll see much of, if any, of Deshaun Watson at all this year. Now, just for I don't want to go into this. I just need to for transparency's sake, Deshaun Watson, if you don't know, is facing a total of 22 civil lawsuits from allegations of sexual assault and inappropriate misconduct. So my first question, like I said, I don't think it's fair to judge or speak on the allegations themselves, because at this time, Deshaun Watson hasn't been convicted of anything, right? However, I do want to know what you guys make of the league granting him the option to still be here, but the team saying, we're not going to put you out there. Is it, and also whether or not you think it has something to do with this court, all these court cases coming in and the limbo he's in, or, I mean, he was pretty vocal about wanting to get out of Houston. What do you think, Sahe?
This is just the league separating itself from the situation. They're just like, yo, he's good to go. He's good to go. Yeah, Deshaun Watson, he can go ahead and play. And then the team says, you know what, he can't play. And I think the league knew the team would say that he couldn't play. So the league just, by just like not wanting to get involved, is like, yo, on our end, he's cool. You know what I'm saying? Ask the Texans what they're doing. So I think that's pretty much all it is. It's just the league trying to save their face.
Now, are the Texans choosing to keep him out because he was expressing that he didn't want to be there, and they're thinking they're going to need to look forward anyway? Or do you think it's more about not wanting what his personal life is currently covered with all over the Texans' name?
It's a little bit of both, right? If he didn't have that such strong allegations against him, and he just wanted out, but they weren't going to let him out, they'll be saying you can come back at any time. But couple that with, you know what I'm saying, he's saying he wants to get out now, these allegations, they're like, well, we don't want you back, but you're definitely not going anywhere else, right? So they're kind of just sticking it to Deshaun Watson for right now. And I think it's unfair for Deshaun Watson. I mean, I don't want to get too deep into how I feel about the allegations and things like that, because there is so many of them, right? But it's a tough situation, and I think the Texans are doing what they feel that they have to do for their program to keep it from being a distraction. Just cut it off. Like, hey, even if you could come back, the league saying to come back, we don't want you in here. We want you back eventually, but we want this whatever's going on to be, you know what I'm saying, non-existent anymore.
Hey, what do you make of the whole thing? I mean, is this about the allegations? Is this about him, wanting out? What do you think?
This is what's happening. Deshaun Watson didn't want, once they got rid of D-Hop, Deshaun Watson and JJ Watt left, Deshaun Watson was like, I don't want to be here no more. I don't want to rebuild. And the same time, he got hit with these allegations. So he went public with not wanting to be with the Houston Texans, forcing them to do the trade. But now that with those allegations are off, especially with the climate that the NFL is in with the assaults and the abuse, he's untouchable right now. So now that he's untouchable right now, they don't have the leverage to get what they need for Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is a top 5 quarterback when healthy. So they're not playing him because they don't want him to get hurt, and he's prone to getting hurt, but they can't play him because he's causing dissension in the locker room because he doesn't really want to be there, but they can't move him because he has allegations. So they're stuck in this limbo. So the best bet is to not play him, pay him what he's worth over those games, however many games you have him, and get the best deal you can for him, or just make him sit out the whole year until the court case moves out and you can actually move him. That's what's happening right now.
Now, did you draft Deshaun Watson during last week's show? I thought somebody grabbed him.
I did not draft Deshaun Watson.
Speaking
if
of
I
that,
did, we're doing a trade right now.
He said he would go check right now. Speaking of that, before we close it out for the day, our first week matchups are posted. Everything is going into effect tomorrow. The games start. We're gonna have fantasy updates for you as we go along. My team, Team Justo, is going against Marvin's team, the Diggities. We've got Trey's magnificent team going up against the Beach Bash Party Animals. So that's Tony Ray. And then Bando Bucko, Sahe, taking on Prestige Worldwide, which is Richie's team. So if you didn't check out last week, we had our fantasy football draft. I'm not going to go through what our teams look like on the air right now. You can go back and check it out. It's a pretty well done episode, pictures, all that fun stuff. Only a few things. What's up?
I said our teams are crazy.
They are. It's a pretty hot league because there's only 6 of us and we're all sports guys for the most part. So we'll be giving you some updates next week. Once again, thank you for watching and listening to The Wire. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, make sure you follow, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, and like. If you're on Spotify and the audio channels, go and leave us a review. And we've got a Patreon link below in the comments. Make sure you grab that Patreon link and go and show your support. And we'll let you into our patrons family. And then you can start seeing some of this behind the scenes goofiness that goes on. If you're watching The Wire, we're on every Wednesday at 8. Keep an eye out because on October the 1st, H2G Podcast is coming back. And I'm happy to announce that they're coming back in old fashion. They're going to start covering stories that hit home. Big topics like Black Lives Matter have been talked about in the past. Human trafficking have been talked about in the past. They've done wacky news in the past where I think they're going to add true crime to it now. So the H2G Podcast is ever evolving, coming back on October 1st. That's on Fridays at 7 Eastern. Until next week, you guys have a good night.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Prestige Worldwide going down.